quite sad, I suppose. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I will take you on a journey through my last ever Sunday hospital shift. In the future, our Sundays will be taken over by an out-of-hours provider to improve the work-life balance of everyone. If I'm honest, I'm definitely not a morning person, so any hope of me attaining Huberman Lab's productive morning routine is non-existent. I literally jump out of bed into my work clothes like so. Luckily, past me was smart enough to pack some lunch the night before, and because it's an out-of-hours shift, we don't always get a lunch. So to keep me full throughout the day, I bring my Huel drink with me, and not gonna lie, it has saved me a number of times on these busy shifts, so I highly recommend them. So I used to be terrified of these emergency shifts because you never know what will rock up to the practice, and I often feel some sort of imposter syndrome and being inadequate and very much out of my comfort zone of the daily 9 to 7 weekday shifts. But through past experiences, I learned that over-preparing and worrying amounts to nothing but unnecessary stress, and found it to be far more productive to focus on one step at a time and feeling reassured that I have an efficient team that I work alongside with. So turning up is already half the battle done. As a 24/7 hospital, we often see a number of strays that need medical attention, and often it breaks my heart to see them in these conditions they present in sometimes. So here we have a ferret that's undergoing some physiotherapy to strengthen his limbs.
Muy bien.
Here we have Mr. Lewis that had an injured leg, and luckily for him, the team managed to nurse him back to a happier life, repairing his leg and also treating some medical conditions. And you can see he isn't too bothered by only having 3 legs, and he seems quite happy, wanting lots of cuddles and also tucking into his food. We are exercising him here at the hospital, letting him stretch his legs. That's it, the last Sunday shift. I thought that I could feel more, but it was very busy. So we're going home. So that was my last ever Sunday shift, and let's decompress a little bit and reflect. So Sunday shifts are very unpredictable because you tend to see emergencies. They can be quite quiet, but they can also be really manic, and today was one of the more manic ones. We had some inpatients to look after and also investigations to do, and we had some patients come in that were poorly, so we had to see them as well. And I suppose I just felt really exhausted at one point because we were just we were trying to keep up with the care for each patient. So basically what we try to do is check the patient in the morning after the handover rounds, and then if they're quite critical, then we need to assess them, see if we need to add anything to their medications plan, call the owner, make a plan, move on to the next one. So each patient required, quite a number of them required some blood tests and also abdominal ultrasound scans. And luckily my colleagues helped scan these animals for me as well, so they definitely helped a lot. And also I think the main thing today was communicating with owners over the phone, keeping them updated with the plan, making sure the expectations are aligned, as well as speaking to them about the costs, because, you know, everything needs to be outlined and clear communication. And at one point I could feel myself lagging because we did not have a time to sit down from 7:30 to 2 p.m. So it's been going on non-stop. And then luckily we had some time for lunch, so that was nice, and we relaxed. Well, relax is a strong word. We had like 10 minutes to actually just have some time to breathe before going back to the patients. Thankfully, there weren't any road traffic accident patients or any traumatic fractures that came in. So most of them were ongoing gastrointestinal issues or blood sugar level issues, things like that. That also required a lot of attention to look after, but we managed. And I just feel like, why are you so active today, Kitty? Come on. I just feel like quite sad, I suppose, sometimes, because you are with the client to look after the pet, and as the pet gets older, the inevitable happens where they're more prone to getting things like cancers or organ issues, and there's not much you can do besides, you know, making them more comfortable in some cases where there's no cure. And it's just really sad to see the owners experiencing it as well, and it makes you kind of emotional too, because you see how sad they are and how much they care for their pet. And it can be it's just quite sad sometimes. And it's quite known, like we all know this is part of like life and death kind of things that you go through. So it's important to decompress after a long day, if it's like cuddling with the animals, the stray animals that you look after, or your own animals, or speaking to people about it. I think this the emotional part that, you know, it is something that we always have to face and be aware of. The science part, it's fine, like, well, it's not fine, but you know, you just follow the protocols, the guidelines, you speak to specialists if you need help and things. But like the emotional part, you have to really take care of it yourselves, and also make sure that it doesn't get to you too much, because at the end of the day, you are a professional and you are, you know, doing what you can for the client and the pet, but also acknowledge that you are human and trying to process these feelings the best way you can. If it's seeing a therapist, journaling, speaking to friends or family members, I think that's very important. And it's not like, you know, it's as important as like drinking water, I would say, to refresh your mind and have this mental hygiene to keep your mental health sort of like in check, basically. So Sunday shifts, I went on a tangent. I don't know if I'll miss them, because you do see quite some interesting cases and also help patients who are very critical in need. But I will not miss the stress and also the ups and downs that you have to face with the owners in critical patients. Initially, I thought I would be very interested in emergency medicine, but I think it's just too stressful for me. So we'll see how it goes. And yeah, we'll only be working Saturdays for now. Also, why is Keith so noisy? Why are you so noisy? You're in a playful mood? This is him. What you doing? Anywho, thanks for watching. Bye.